Hello, I'm Nigel Youell, Senior Director of Product Marketing for Enterprise Performance Management at Oracle, and I'm joined today by Marciante, our Senior Director of Product Management for EPM at Oracle, and we're going to talk particularly about our Enterprise Performance Reporting Cloud Service, Al, which is the product you look after, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so Al, give us background to what this is. It's sort of, obviously it's about reporting, but what specifically about reporting we're bringing out in this cloud service?
Sure. If you look across what customers do today, the different applications, the different technologies they have in, we have really good solutions for them to pull data out of these systems.
Right.
Really, the challenge comes into when they have to communicate that data to other people in the organization or even external stakeholders, right? And so being able to pull in that data into a system that then can manage you through that narrative reporting process where different people across the organization are adding the business commentary, making sense of the numbers, letting you understand why things are happening or what things have changed globally that have impacted our business. That's really the area that just pure reporting tool doesn't solve. It's great at getting you the data, but now we need to explain it to people.
Okay, and of course, what we see is we see a process normally where we collect lots and lots of data, we compile it, we deal with it, and we get it all together, and then we break it up and cast it out to the outer nether regions of the organisation for people to add commentary and then try and collect that back together again. And that's a complex process, isn't it? So that's really what we're addressing here with some of the things that are in the product, right?
Right. It's not that customers don't find their way to do this today. It's very inefficient, very error prone.
Yeah.
So if you think of the process today, we may send data around, and data may not be finalized. If you're going through a closed process, you may be dealing with flash data. We tend to know already what the narrative is that we need to write. We do understand what has been going on the past quarter, the past fiscal year, but we need to also be able to make sure that that data is current at the time we publish. So we try to do, or what we do in Enterprise Performance Reporting Cloud, is to make sure that we are managing that process, that we have ownership and traceability back to that data where it's coming from. So using things like SmartView allow us to link easily to EPM, BI, and cloud ERP sources directly and bring that data in, and it's in a refreshable state. So people can focus on writing their narrative, and it can go through the process of approvals and collaborative reviews and all those other things that need to be done.
So we maintain that connectivity back to the source of the information all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And because SmartView, we should explain a bit, is our Microsoft Office integration into the product. So we're talking about being able to work in Office, but have access to our corporate enterprise data.
Yes, that's correct. I mean, SmartView has been around for a great number of years. Prior to that, most of our products had their own ways to integrate data into the Excel environment. SmartView allows you to get at not only your data, but also your application artifacts. So planning forms, ad hoc forms from HFM, financial consolidation and close will have integration there as well. So we get at data, charts, grids, graphs that may be produced in Oracle Business Intelligence or through Oracle Financial Reporting. So we have the ability to get at all that artifacts that have already been built. So don't build something new. But I think the main thing that we also do is we don't require you to move your data into the cloud in order to use a solution. Right? And so customers can easily use this in their environment today. They can start with the documents they're already writing today, and they can use their SmartView queries they're using today and take advantage of all the workflow, collaboration, common formatting and polishing of those documents through to the approval and sign-off process. So it actually really allows a customer to get up and running quickly, but takes advantage and leverages their investment they've already made into the process.
Yeah, and of course they're working with familiar tools if they're working with Microsoft Office, so they're up and running very quickly.
Correct. And even if you're not an existing Oracle EPM customer, you don't have BI yet, we have strong integration with Microsoft Excel to bring in and let that present your data and let you do queries there. So if you have other add-ins you may be using, such as PeopleSoft Envision, or you may be using other data sources like Access or data you're pulling in from a marketplace on the cloud that Excel is able to get to and refresh as well, that just makes it even easier now. With the service, we do deliver capabilities for customers that want to move some subset of data into the cloud, and that provides them the ability to also do analytics against that data. So directly through SmartView, directly in Excel, they could connect to that source and just start to slice and dice and do analysis in order to form their narrative and understand what happened.
Great. So let's talk about what customers are actually doing, you're seeing. What are you seeing with customers that are adopting this cloud service? What are they actually up to?
Sure. We've had actually pretty good traction with this product across a whole host of industries. So financial services has been pretty strong for us as well. We have several customers in Europe that are using it to do their annual report. So you think of an annual report, that's a very, it's a highly scrutinized document that they're putting together, but it has a lot of form and finish to it as well. And so they're using it for that. We see in the public sector public sectors always have to do a lot of different types of disclosures, FOIA or Freedom of Information Act type requests and other things like that. So they are looking to use this where if they get a request in, they can actually start a report package or a process in Enterprise Performance Reporting Cloud and then let that go through and let the multiple people collaborate that need to as part of publishing that. And then we're also seeing customers that are using it for budget books. So budget books, project funding proposals, board reviews where you need different people and different functions to add information to it. But the one thing that's also important here is that within that is you have multiple people working on some report deliverable. Somebody's responsible for it ultimately. That person always has visibility into who has ownership, who currently is late, what's the process, right? So we're continuing to expand on our ability of giving visibility in the cloud via dashboards or visuals, so the person responsible always knows at a point in time. And I think the second thing that's really important is while these people are collaborating on this, they still have to only be secured, or they need to be secured to the areas that they've been given the responsibility to. So if it's quarterly type report and you think about something like earnings per share, that's something one or maybe two people have access to. But other parts of the document can be built and the people reviewing that are just looking at that information. But the people that do see the same information can all collaborate together. So we're not sending back a document to the report package owner 10 different documents with everybody's markups on it individually and letting that poor person try to weed through all that. It's in a single place and those comments roll forward to subsequent reviews.
Yeah, I mean that security thing is really important, especially you say for quarterly and annual reporting, because there are some very, very sensitive numbers in there. And the fact that we segregate though the document up, people only see the pieces they need to see is really important.
Yeah, and that's true even if you're doing kind of a standard ops review where maybe HR is adding some information in there and they need to talk about some salaries or skill set analysis or something else. The other folks that are talking about facilities and other things as part of that ops review won't see that HR data. And so it plays across all areas in which you can use this product in.
Al, thanks ever so much for sharing that. It's been really great to meet with you again, and hopefully we'll talk again soon.
Sure, I look forward to it.
Thanks, Al. And thank you for joining us.